Kirby, very quickly, you said they're consistently concerned about land reclamation activities by China. But some people in China point out that, in fact, China is hardly the first country to do so. Vietnam, the Philippines did that in the past, but in those cases, the U.S. was not so eager to project their anger or protest.
Look, I'm
Is there a
not going
double
to,
standard
again,
here?
we're not taking individual positions on individual claims, but I think it's a far cry and a stretch to compare what China has done in just recent months, and certainly over the last year or so, with land reclamation and militarization, with any such potential like situations from other countries in the region. There's absolutely no way to compare the scope and the size and the character of it.
From your statement this afternoon, it seems that Washington can imply, if not dictate, what countries in the region in South China Sea should or should not do based on a piece of treaty UNCLOS, which of course the U.S. did not ratify. This administration,
And
along
we
with
continue
others,
to- we
tried to
continue
push
to
for it,
urge
but
the
you never
Senate
get a
to
two-third majority in the Senate.
We continue to urge the Senate to ratify. We've,
Do you think
this
the US
administration has been very, very clear about that. But we still abide by the central tenets of it, even though we aren't a signer.
But when we abide by the central tenets, do you think the U.S. loses kind of the moral authority to do that when it does not ratify it?
This isn't about expressing moral authority. And I kind of reject the implication in the question. This isn't about the United States projecting moral authority. This is an international tribunal which came up with a legally binding decision that the United States didn't influence. We said before that they reached it, that it would be legally binding. So did the world. Now they've reached it. It's still legally binding. And the world is going to be watching what both claimants do in terms of meeting their obligations on this. As I said at the outset, the United States doesn't take a position on individual claims. We do take a position on coercion. And part of coercion is the potential militarization of land features.
Do you think the U.S. in any ways contributed to the rising of tensions, militarization in South China Sea when they sent bombers and cruisers, frigates in the region so often?
No, I don't. And here's why. The United States military has a presence in the Pacific. We are a Pacific power. 5 of our 7 treaty alliances are in the Pacific. We have enormous security commitments in the region. And when we operate our ships and our aircraft, we do so in international airspace and international maritime space. And we train with our allies and our partners. And those are serious obligations because our military has a responsibility to protect and defend the United States' national security interests.